Today we got a new major update in Battlefield 2042 where I want to go a bit more into detail on all of the changes. The plushies are back on Redacted and we got some new missions, modes and store items as part of the weekly rotation. So let's get right in and have a closer look at everything. First, the plushies. After they've been disabled about 2 weeks ago because there was a possibility to crash the server when picking them up, they have now been re-enabled and can be found and collected again. If you haven't done the Easter egg yet or you weren't able to finish it before it got deactivated, now is your chance. According to DICE, they don't have any plans to take the Easter egg down like they do with the seasonal ones, so it might be here to stay. In case you need any help with the locations of the plushies or the exact instructions for the Easter egg, be sure to click the video in the info box. As a reward for completing it, you will receive 4 weapon charms, 1 for each plushie, and a player card background called Good Company. Now on to the changes and improvements that were made with today's update. I've went through this in short on Friday already, but you know I always like to test things and then give you a more detailed look on how they actually work and if they actually work. So we're gonna start with Irish Shootdown Sentinel, because this one will no longer intercept smoke grenades. Works like a charm from what I've seen so far. I played a few games on Redacted with this change and I found that it was pretty helpful when you want to try and push through choke points or revive squad mates in the thick of the battle. And so far, none of the rounds turned into a completely smoke-covered map. But let's see if and how it changes the dynamic of some maps and objectives once more people recognize that smoke is not intercepted anymore. So far, at least in my opinion, it's a good change. Moving on to the vehicles, the Wildcat now has an air radar that is always active and it shows up on your minimap while you are in the vehicle. It's not an upgrade or anything that needs to be activated, it's simply a passive ability that you cannot trigger yourself. What I didn't find though was the air radar setting within the options that was mentioned in the patch notes. This should allow you to adjust the range of the radar, but I looked through all of the options and couldn't spot it. So maybe it's missing or they changed it shortly before the update went live and forgot to change it in the patch notes. Adjusting the minimap zoom also doesn't have any effect on the radar, so the description of the option seems to be correct as well. Not sure what happened there, but I'll keep you updated if the option is added later on. The second vehicle that got a little buff is the Nightbird, and here regular body damage will no longer result in a system failure. If you want to disable the vehicle, you need to specifically target the avionics now. Makes it a bit harder to get rid of that little thing, but also puts less pressure on the pilot, which is especially nice when you are not one of those high-skilled heli aces. In addition to this, the magnet effect that some helicopters encounter while being close to the ground was reduced, what makes it a bit easier to maneuver on these low altitudes, and all air vehicles now take the damage they should take when colliding with the skyscrapers on Hourglass, so there's no bouncing off and surviving anymore. The bug where EMP grenades or blasts did permanently disable a vehicle was also fixed and they should only disable parts of it now, and vehicles that were designated by the SOFLAM show the lock-on rectangle again for all players that are supposed to see it. And the target acquired prompt should no longer be shown on destroyed vehicles, and Boris Sentry Gun does also no longer target them. At least for me, when testing it today, all of these changes and fixes worked fine. What didn't work at all, on the other hand, was the indicator that is supposed to show up in the main menu when crossplay is turned off. I'm not sure if it's pretty small or if they did hide it very well, but I couldn't find it. Not on console and not on PC. If you can see it, tell me in the comments below. What I was able to find are the new color customizations for your HUD. Here we already had quite a few options, but now there's even more that was added at the bottom of the list and allows you to define the colors of your HUD more into detail. You can find it at Options, Display and then HUD General. And lastly, there is the new Squad Spectator modifier for Battlefield Portal. You can find this new option when changing or creating an experience under Modifiers and then Gameplay. The Squad Spectator allows you to spectate your squad mates when you have died, but before entering the deploy screen again, so similar to Hazard Zone. And as part of this, you can also disable redeploys from this screen with the option right next to it. This is useful for custom experiences that feature one life or tactical squad modes, but still allows players to spectate their squad mates. Would be a cool feature for All Out War as well, but it will probably stay exclusively in Portal. In addition to all of this, there were some smaller changes made to weapon animations and the descriptions of weapon attachments in the collection screen, and we already received a server-sided update yesterday that changed some stats of the VHX-D3 based on player feedback. As a result, the dispersion of the weapon now increases faster the longer the weapon is fired, but also decreases faster when you stop firing, which means firing the weapon in bursts is now a lot more effective than firing it in full auto. Alongside of this, the hipfire starting accuracy was reduced, but only while standing, so I assume when moving it's still the same, and the horizontal recoil was reduced by about 10% to support this new long-range burst firing. I played the VHX for a few games as well, and it's definitely a noticeable change here and might take a moment to get used to, but in my opinion it's still one of the better weapons of the game. The improvements to map rotation and matchmaking that are supposed to reduce the likelihood of playing the same map over and over again have been delayed for further testing and will go live in a future update instead, possibly with the next one in 3 weeks on February 20th. This update will also come with improvements and changes to persistent servers, aircraft impact behavior and the HUD of vehicle gunners. But before this update will drop, we will have another event coming up that starts next week on February 6th and will run for 2 weeks until February 20th. It is held to celebrate the Year of the Dragon and will add new unlockable cosmetics to the game, like weapon skins for the Super 500 shotgun and PBX, a specialist set for dozer, a weapon charm and an XP boost. There will also be new store items available, and we can expect to see different modes connected to this event, but these are all returning modes and no new ones. For the first week, this will be Rush Chaos XL, and in the second week it's Breakthrough Chaos. So all modes that make it easy to earn the ribbons for the cosmetic unlocks. Additionally, we will have another double XP weekend from the 9th to the 11th, which means if you still need to complete the Battle Pass or Tier 1 badge for the season, be sure to hop on during this time. After the Year of the Dragon event on February 20th, Season 6 will officially end, but Season 7 will not start immediately. Instead, we will have another 2-week intermission with a second event, cause starting on February 20th and running until March 5th, the Archangel Directive from Season 5 will make a return similar to the Redux break we had before Season 6. During this time, the game mode Control will come back and will be playable on 2 more maps, Discarded and Breakaway, and there will be new earnable cosmetics and also new event bundles in the item store. In addition, we will see the release of the next major update, which is 6.4 that I had already mentioned. And then we will see how it goes from there. According to the timeline we got a few weeks ago, we can expect to see the reveal and launch of Season 7 in March, but there are no details on when this will happen exactly. There could be another 1 or 2 week break between the end of the Archangel event and the start of Season 7, or the season starts on March 5th. Let's see, I'll keep you updated as usual. But now let's have a quick look at what we got with weekly rotation today, starting with the new modes. In Conquest and Breakthrough there's nothing new as usual, but instead of Rush, the old event mode Shutdown has returned. And over in Portal we got 2042 Air Superiority and Squid Cheese Chaos, which is now also available with a separate tile right on top of the mode list. So the community spotlight really gets highlighted this time. Over at the item store, we also got a new bundle this week that is called Horror Show, costs 1,750 battlefield coins and comes with a legendary specialist set for Blasco, a legendary weapon skin for the SWS-10, a vehicle skin for the Pondhawk, a headgear for Liz, a player card background, a skin for the NTW50 that you might already have, cause I think it was an EA Play reward a while ago, and you also get a weapon charm. If you are a member of EA Play this month, you will also receive the Ice Pick weapon skin for the K30 for free, simply by logging into the game before February 27th, so don't miss out on that. And at the end, let's have a look at the new missions for week number 17. These are kept pretty simple again, just like the last 2 weeks. So in the first section you need to do 3 kills and revives, heal or resupply 5 teammates and travel 2 kilometers in a vehicle. In the second section you have to revive 20 teammates, but squad revives double the mission progression, earn 6 objective ribbons and spot 30 enemies or get spot assists. Once the third section is unlocked, you then need to kill 20 enemies at a distance of 75 meters or more, play 8 rounds of any game mode, and do 10 headshot kills with any weapon. For the bonus mission, simply capture or neutralize 8 objectives and you're done with this week. All of them should be pretty much self-explanatory. Squid's Chaos might be a good choice here, especially for the revives and spottings, but the kills on distance and headshots also work pretty well here. Remember that you can do all of these missions in Portal against AI if you should be struggling with them. Here are some codes you can use if you don't want to create your own experiences. And one last off-topic topic at the end, the upcoming FPS title Out of Action that I had included in my 2024 shooter game preview has just released a public demo yesterday. I played a bit through it and uploaded the no commentary gameplay on my second channel, so if it looked interesting for you, you might want to check it out. If you want to play the demo yourself, you can also find it on Steam, link is in the description below. And that's it for today, your usual overview of what's going on in and around Battlefield 2042. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching and thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.